Hello everyone. In this video, in the last one, if you haven't watched, I made some kind of motion with like functions and also with modulate. And in this one, I also want to explore a bit about motion, but in terms of like transition. Probably that's more interesting if you work for like VJs, that's video jockey, kind of like playing with visuals. I don't do it these days, but then you want to create different scenes and you won't have like smooth transition between them, or like going back and forth or mixing them. And so let's just get started. So we all know that if we do OSC, maybe slow it down a bit with colors, maybe a little bit faster, just some random parameter. So what you could do with like switching between parameters, this kind of notation with arrow, array, would make like switch back and forth between two different parameters. And one of the most popular demand is something like this. Like, what if you want to switch between two different sources or like inputs? So for example, I don't know, like noise, but we all know that this doesn't work. It's not a function. I mean, it gives an error and it doesn't work. And then how do we do it? This is not the most difficult one, but perhaps you could use blend function. Noise, maybe something like this. This is just like completely optional. I just want to have some colors. Modulate. Oops. By noise sub gradient. Something like this. Oh, of course we need blend. Alright, so what's happening now is we're just blending this OSC pattern and some kind of noise texture, and right now everything's blended. But if you do, okay, so if you do blend 0, then it becomes like, so this part is completely ignored, right? You're just seeing this OSC part. And if you do blend 1, then you see the like this part. So if you want to do like noise 3, then you have just noise and no OSC. So if you want to switch between them, you just have to do something like this. So now we have this array. Instead of like putting array, OSC and noise, we have this as a parameter for blend. So blend is like switching back and forth between this 0, which is this one, and 1. And of course you can make it more complicated, like if you want to emphasize the first texture more, then this stays longer, and one moment noise comes in, and then it goes back to the OSC. This is easy. And the problem with this is like, it's like just one actually like single line connected all of these things. So if you want to make it a bit concise or like a bit readable, you could do out to say 01, and this part will be out 02, and take these ones. So if you want to Ctrl Shift Enter, it should stay the same, but if you do render, you can see that like the one changing is all 0, which is after the blend function, and 01 is left bottom, bottom left. O2 is top right. So you can see that this is like doing a mixer kind of job. Plus, if you want to do some kind of like, I wouldn't say cheesy, but like some kind of transition, let's just go back to O0. Let's say like I want some kind of wipe transition, then what I would do is instead of blend, I would do mask. And if you just do this, oh, this is actually weird. Yeah, because O2 becomes like masking texture. I don't know. If you use Photoshop on stuff, probably you know it better, the terms. You can comment below if you know how it's called. What I wanted is, instead of using this as a mask texture, I introduce, no, actually it's not mask, it's a layer, that's what I wanted. So let's just try this. What happens is you get this source O2, which is a noise, layered on top, like it's just slapping on top completely, like putting a new poster. So you don't see the original texture. But what I want is some kind of transition. So let's say here comes the mask, and then OSC. Well, let's just do OSC. Then it's a little bit too much. Maybe like OSC 1, 0.5. Now it's a bit more like blending. By the way, this hiccup is from my computer, but now it's happening more. It's not the effect. Now this is like kind of smooth transition. Actually, it's easing with sine, with OSC sine. How can I make it a bit better? Let's say thresh, but maybe thresh original one is like 0.04 or something. It's a bit too harsh, so maybe like this, I don't know. And then maybe, or even like something like this. So it's like a wipe that goes in. Oops. And if you want like even more, like even harsher wipe, then it's like solid edge you could see here. And if you render without the variable, is this variable? No, argument, then you could see that, oh, now this hiccup is getting a bit worse. So maybe I could reload the page, hoping that it's a little bit better. Okay, so this here is input 1, let's say, and this is input 2, like O1 and O2, and O0 is the mixture of these two textures with the transition. Good thing with this method is that you could use any texture as a masking texture, so you could just like put noise, which is probably not that interesting. Well, I mean, it's really not a transition. But what I wanted to do is good old kaleidoscopic effect with big number, then it becomes circular. So what you would see is like this wipe, but circular, which is a little bit cheesy. But I kind of like it. If you want it backwards, then pass minus to the OSC, and then it becomes like this. Great. What else? Another thing I wanted to try is, I don't really do visuals, so I don't know what people want. Maybe you can comment down below, but what I thought was maybe to use the mouse or like MIDI controller or whatever. I have a MIDI controller, but I don't have it on the desk right now. So I will just improvise with the mouse, and what I would do is, I'm going to delete this now. So it's just O2. Maybe I'll keep O2 a little bit simple. No, I would, I will do O1 just grayscale. So it's just that for demonstration. And what I want to do is to introduce something else. Okay, so what if I do, I think the simplest way is to do shape 4, like, so right now what I'm doing is taking this rectangle and, okay, don't do hiccup again, and using that as a mask. So now you see like a little TV or I don't know, block on top of the black and white OSC. So this is no transition. If you modulate or change this part, I normally do modulate or modulate scale, but maybe this is easier to see. By the way, mouse with X is just the pixels, so you have divided by width. Now you could switch between them. It's kind of nice, I think. And is it problematic if I do this? Oh, okay, so it's like kept by that, so maybe I do times 2 minus 2.5, no, something like that, I don't know. Yeah, so it gives a bit of like buffer, how do I say? I don't have to put the mouse completely on the right side to make it on O2, or like from here somewhere you could see that the whole surface becomes O1. And of course, if you have a MIDI controller, you could do the same thing with CC something. Was it? I don't remember. Something like that. And you could probably use the same formula. I don't know, something like this. Okay, and you can have fun. And nice thing is like you could just like leave this part like this, and you just have to change these functions. And if you're bold, you can blindly change the other buffer, and if you switch to it, and I don't know if anyone does this kind of VJing. This is too advanced, I feel like, because you're kind of doing it blindly. I didn't change anything. Yeah, actually this is really fun. But I don't know if this is something you're looking for, but I hope this helps for someone. Probably you would ask like, is it possible to have the view and somehow like do the mixing to the projector? Top of my head, I don't know if that's possible. You could probably do some weird magic with Flock or something, but I don't know if Flock is up right now. Yeah, actually I don't know. That would be interesting. That would be really nice to do if you could like change, like if you could see all these O1 and O2 on your computer and then only this chunk of O0 is projected. I don't know. You could probably also like improvise with OBS just to like capture this part, and then you have an option to have full screen on the projector. So that may be possible, but you will lose some resolution unless you have like big, I don't know, laptop with good resolution. I'm not sure. And of course, you can play with different effects. Layer mask. I don't know. You could do like rotate also with this kind of effect. Oh, but it doesn't work though. Yeah, that kind of works, but now it rotates a lot. But yeah, whatever. By the way, I made this project called I think it's called Hydra Next. It doesn't mean that it's like better than Hydra, but it's something that actually automatically plays, and it has like the same spirit of like transition, and I created different effects that you could just like stop. What were the functions? Zoom, fade, wipe, door. So I don't know. So basically this is now happening, and then if you do like OC up, and then it goes up. But then you have to keep like changing the function. So I don't know if this is actually really useful, but if you're interested, this is on Glitch, and I can put link in the description so you can take a look at what's happening. I think I did some weird magic in this one because it's not really normal Hydra thing. Anyways, so thank you for watching, and maybe I can just keep this automatic mode on. And if you have questions, please write below in the comments. If you like the video, please like it, and if you have some also like requests for like future videos, let me know what you want to see. Then have a nice day, and thank you for watching.